guys, it's Ahmer here, and here we are back with another update video in my series where I take you guys along with me on my collecting journey. We are trying to go for a full Super Nintendo set, and I went out to one of my local video game stores here in Maryland, and that is called Regen. So if you're ever in the Towson Town Center Mall in Towson, Maryland, you should definitely check out this store. It's so colorful, they have such a great variety, and anytime that I go there, I find games that are worth over $100. So we'll just jump into it. Last week we left off with 445 games, and I'm hoping to get to 450 and hopefully soon 500. So we're trying to go for that full set, and right away they had this game which is over $100. This is an awesome video game. It's one that is definitely worth playing, whether you get it for over $100 or if you could find it for a great deal. This is called Ninja Warriors. The Ninja Warriors. So a really awesome game, just such a blast, and anytime that I play it now, I've been going through as the different characters. I love these like side-scrolling beat-em-up games. You have this left to right fighting, you don't really have that whole up and down, but it does stand out. It has a variety of 3 different characters with different styles to them. So you have one that's pretty fast, you have a guy that's very strong, but he doesn't really jump. So I like the mix of this robot ninja character. That one is so much fun. You have 9 different levels. It can be pretty challenging. It's a pretty difficult game, but there is a hard mode, which I have not really played on. There is no multiplayer though, so that is definitely a letdown, as this game would be so much fun if you could play with a friend. Now this, I would have to say, is a very fun beat 'em up, very cheesy. You can see some of the enemies just walk right into a fan, so it's just pretty entertaining at times when you see all of this like dangerous stuff in the background and you don't even have to do anything to the enemies, so that's definitely insane. But I love the cheesiness where you have the different malls, you have the different elevators, you have like all these crazy different like action, repetitive areas that you see in so many of these early titles. But this game is one that I'm super glad that I scored, and I can't believe I got another one that is off the list of over $100. So this one is a pretty fun one. And that's not all, because I did see this game, which I never really see. This is called Time Slip. So this is another pretty fun game that I knew absolutely nothing about. So Time Slip is like this whole side-scrolling run and gun style game. So you have like this whole alien invasion, but you have to like protect the people of Earth. So there's 5 different stages, there's different settings, and like the backgrounds just look pretty crazy. So you have one part that's like this vertical shoot 'em up. You get to upgrade your weapons, collect the crystals, because there is some sort of like time meter, and you have to keep on moving. So you can't really take your time, but this is like no Contra. So this is a very inexpensive game that just doesn't hold up with some of the top tier titles, but I would say for a lesser expensive title, it's definitely one that you guys should play if you want to go through, just have that run and gun action. And I just absolutely love this cover art, even though it like looks like it has nothing to do with what's going on. So it's just pretty crazy looking. But I had a blast with it thus far, and I can't wait to keep going through and just having a blast playing some of these games that I knew absolutely nothing about. So if you guys are enjoying this content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification, because you don't want to miss out, as I am inching my way closer to the full and complete Super Nintendo set, and it doesn't stop there. I have opened up my collecting to so many other systems, and I just find so much cool stuff along the way. Now next up, this is a racing game. We have F1 ROC, Race of Champions. So this is another inexpensive game, but it's one of those racing games. So you have like this whole career mode of this racing game. You have 3 different laps. It moves pretty quick. Now it isn't F-Zero, but this is a cheap and fun game. It doesn't feel as quick as F-Zero, but the backgrounds can be a little bit plain at times, and there isn't really like this whole in-game music, so that's definitely a downfall. But other than that, if you just want a cheap racing game, this is the way to go. Then they had Super Bases Loaded. So this one feels a lot different than some of the others. So there are quite a few on the Nintendo and then the Super Nintendo. So the first one feels more like an NES title, but when you get to the second one, it actually is one of the better ones in this whole set. So this one's actually a fun time. Now, I thought it was different how the camera does not leave the ball when it's hit into the field. So that's definitely something pretty interesting. But I would say that this second game is one that if you really enjoy baseball, you might want to give this one a go, as this one was pretty inexpensive. And then on to this game. This one is called Full Throttle. Now, it's all American racing. So you have two different things. You have like these jet skis, and then you have motorcycles. So this is a game that just kind of jam-packs two in one. So it's a racing game, you get to kick and punch, but it's not like Road Rash. I don't really see how that like benefits you in-game, but it's always fun to do that. Now it is this whole arcade style of a racing game. The motorcycle part's pretty fun, and then it jumps over to this whole like simple but fun jet skiing action. And I just love how it like just differentiates and kind of splits how everything is. So it's definitely pretty cool to see how much went into this game. But overall, it's still an inexpensive game, and I'm sure that there are more fun racing games on the system to choose. So once again, I scored 5 more games for my Super Nintendo set. So we left off with 445, and now we have 450. And I got these at one of my favorite video game stores called Regen. I love the colors. I love how they have everything divided. They have such a great inventory, a variety of like common games, but yet more expensive and like obscure games. Every time I go in there, I see something pretty awesome. Like there's chainsaw controllers, some of the expensive titles on the GameCube, even Super Nintendo. I love how they have everything like organized, where they'll have like imports as well. It's just really cool seeing all of that stuff. They do such a great job of like displaying everything. They have this really cool Sega Genesis, light up sign, PlayStation 2 light up sign. So much cool stuff on display. So many like neat little oddities that I just don't see very often. And it's cool because every time I go in there, I see quite a few things that I want and I add to my list. So I absolutely love going in there. They're always great to me. And I was able to find these awesome Super Nintendo games to add into my collection. And the most notable one would have to be Ninja Warriors. So definitely had a blast playing through some of these games, but I'd like to know which games you enjoyed. Would you pay over $100 for Ninja Warriors? Would you play any of these racing or baseball games, or even Time Slip? Like those run and gun actions? Let me know if you remember any of these. And of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out all of my other videos and stay tuned for more.